This is Winchell. This is not Melissa.
Oh, Winchell, I'm sorry. Winchell. You're off
Thank
to a
you.
great start,
Jules.
Winchell. Nashley, go ahead. Nashley. Jules, Jules. Nashley, go ahead. What do you want to say?
I saw a woman lay down in a hamaca. The hamaca is like holding in a computer part, I think.
Yes. Yes.
I think she's sleeping.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, that's pretty much that I
Yes.
saw.
He hamaca is in electronic
Mm-hmm.
is a bus transport. Is like you connect different parts of the electronic uh, between, and
Chris,
you need to, for example, import that on the left to the right. You need to connect this device, and you use yes, motherboard is called in
yeah.
common, but it's more than the motherboard. It's a maybe it's a hardware for control different device. But anyway, return in the picture is a great imagination, great, it's incredible for of the imagine a bus like a hammock and input the um this person is from maybe the from Amazon, Amazonia. Mm,
That is Angel.
and the United States, how do you say the person from nativo, native,
Native, or
native? Yes.
I think it's the same word in Spanish.
In
Indigenous.
Spanish is indigenous.
Yeah.
Yes, it's like a woman in the picture. The the tattoo in your body is
Mhm.
represent different thing. Is depend of the culture. This crazy that picture, teacher. It's crazy.
I
It's
was
crazy the
really captivated
combination.
when I found it. It is a lot going on there. Has everybody checked the WhatsApp? You can read some captions, read a little bit about the artist.
So,
Fabian Diaz, I think his name is.
yes, Caribbean.
He's a Colombian artist.
But I don't know the description of the picture. Only the picture as a tool for transformation. But let me know.
To anyone who's just joined us, talk about what you see. There's a lot happening.
Can I say something?
Absolutely. Go ahead.
In this picture, we see a naked pregnant woman laying down on the right side. And there's a lot of electronic devices on the pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good point. You know, when I first looked at it, I didn't think she looked pregnant. Maybe she is, maybe she's not. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think maybe she is. I'm so confusing because usually they use hamac on the yard or on the trees, but I see that is electronic things round the hamac. That is AI or something is is real?
Yes, it's a weird.
Yes, it is.
Yep. Angel, just explain where it's, what part of the world that's from. Does everybody know what part of the world that is?
Yes. And
He's
this
saying
the
indigenous.
Yeah.
indigenous. Indigenous.
Yep.
It's,
In
it's
Colombia.
Indigenous. Yes, it's indigenous is
Yes, teacher.
share territory. The
The
Brazil, Colombia, Venezuela, Ecuador is the same Amazonia.
the colors of the woman is very similar that the colors of the flag of
Yes, I
Colombia.
was waiting. I was waiting for somebody.
Mhm.
Did anybody notice this right here?
When you say Colombia, I thought that's the colors.
Yeah.
Yes. The,
Right there. Anybody notice that?
uh,
Um, I think they made things like that, like clothes and stuff like that with the pattern.
And more?
They made clothes and things like that with the like the same thing.
Oh, the way they make their clothes.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Like clothing fabric. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like a hammock. Exactly. So here is now, it looks like just about everybody's joined us this evening. I'm going to show you what I put on in the WhatsApp group right there. So when you open up the link right there for everybody who opened it up. So here is the piece of art. And then the artist, Fabian Diaz, here's a little bit about him. The title is Technology for All question mark. Very loaded statement there. Whoop. And would anybody like to read this little bit right there?
ah.
That's what caught my eye.
And she has a line on her legs. That is a tattoo. Nope.
That's what Angel just told us.
Oh, okay.
Are these tattoos in this particular culture?
This particular culture, teacher, it depends of the group from the group.
So it's tribal, yeah.
Yes, but every tattoo have a means. See, is the face or the hand or the legs have a so important for their culture.
Do you think that is have a signification?
Significance?
Yeah.
Significant?
Significance, yeah.
Significant.
Hello, Mr. Judge.
Hello.
Alpha.
Yes, sir.
All right, welcome back, my friend.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, so
Eh,
right here, I'll just read it. It says the lack of access to technology and knowledge results in less opportunities in terms of personal and economic development, as well as in participation and decision making for inhabitants of the Amazonian basin.
mhm.
And then it says, this is by Colombian artist Fabian Diaz, who wants to highlight this disparity and press for technology to be available, to be at the service of these communities and helping dismantle and preserve their decimate and preserve their indigenous identities. There you go. So yeah, Fabian Diaz, interesting piece. Thought it would be good as people come in the waiting room. And here is the agenda for tonight, everybody. Do I have a volunteer to read?
Yeah, teacher, me.
Yes, me.
Want.
Angel was quick with that one. Go ahead, Angel.
Okay. Discussion, a piece of art while a student enter the waiting room. Go over vocabulary exercise for tomorrow. Look at the 2019 stop in shop strike, breakout room discussion, break optional, analyze 3 characters in the story, exercise. Julia Mejia and Carl Richardson is from
Yes.
the article last word.
Yeah.
It's good, teacher.
So these are the 3 characters we're going to add. We're going to look at, and you're going to be wanting to write about these 2, Carl Richardson and Julia Meja. We do have a few new students joining us. So for new students, don't worry. I'll show you how to access the Google Classroom page and all that stuff. But first, let's go over some vocabulary. So to better understand the article, I made a vocab game, and here it is. Okay. When you go to, for new students who are joining us for the first time tonight, this is the class code. So Melissa, Mamadou, and I think we have, what's his name? Is Divinson here?
Yes, teacher, I'm here.
Hey, my friend. Yes, this is the class code right there. So Melissa, Divinson, Mamadou, new students, you can join the Google Classroom with this class code.
I am main teacher.
Oh no, that's Stevenson, not Stevenson, Divinson.
Jesus.
You joined last week. Okay, so we don't have Divinson. Okay, don't worry about it. All right, so that's the class code, and I'm going to copy to the WhatsApp group. I'm saying for new students, here is the Google Classroom link. There we go. So Melissa and Mamadou, there you go. Okay. All right, everybody. So for tomorrow, let's take a look. For tomorrow, we've got a vocab exercise. And this is going to be a little bit of fun. What I'm going to do is go over pronunciation. So everybody I'm going to move my mouth a little closer to the screen. I'm a little congested. I got a little cold. Let me drink some tea before I start speaking here. All right, there we go. So it's 24 vocab words. They're great words and phrases you can use, and it makes it easier to understand the story as you read. Here we go. When you're ready, you can turn your microphones on and follow me. Everybody ready?
Ready.
Yes.
Beautiful. Okay, here we go. Take rate.
Take rate.
Leverage. Bait and switch.
Bait and switch.
Concessions.
Concession.
Exercise power.
Exercise
power.
Unionize. Recruiter.
Recruiter.
Ballot initiative. Fledgling. Deployment. Preemptively. Autonomous.
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 Stakeholders.
Stakeholders.
Holders.
Regulatory landscape.
Regulatory
Landscape.
Landscape.
Contentious.
No, 15, 15.
Oh, I'm
15.
sorry, I skipped one. Thank you. Raucous.
Raucous.
Contentious.
Contentious.
Layoffs.
Layoffs.
Coalition.
Coalition.
Stronghold.
Stronghold.
Dignity.
Dignity.
Salivating.
Salivating.
I'm going to stop and explain this one a little bit. In the article, the word salivating is figurative. Salivating figuratively means you really want something, like you desire something. Literally, it means you're really hungry and your mouth is watering. That's what the word means. So if you're there's some delicious food in front of you and you go, ooh, it smells so good, and your mouth starts to water, that's literally salivating. But you could use the word in terms of like desire. You can't wait. You want something really bad. That you could say you're salivating. It's like hunger, not the literal hunger, but desire, eagerness, that kind of thing. So in the story, it's eagerly anticipating. That's the use of the word in the story. Okay. Displacement. Reconciling. Hostile environment. Right. So you can find the vocabulary list on both of the most recent assignments. So the writing assignment for Friday and this vocab assignment for tomorrow, you can find the vocabulary list. So I made this game, and I'll show you. I'll do the typing, but I want someone else to give me the answer. So everybody you can cheat. You can just look at the vocab list. Tell me, give me the word when you see it, once you know it. The percentage of each fare that Uber keeps.
Take right.
Very good. Okay. Next. Power that Uber and Lyft gained over drivers.
Leverage.
Very good. A deceptive tactic where drivers were attracted with good pay, then later given worse conditions.
Buy and switch.
Yes.
And switch.
And switch. Very good.
And switch.
Bait and switch. That's a very common phrase in America. Bait and switch. Benefits or compromises that drivers want.
Conciliation.
Yep. Concessions.
Concession.
Concessions means compromise. Concessions. Making concessions. To take action to influence decision.
Exercise.
Road.
Power.
There you go. To form or join a labor union. Easy one. It's easy.
Unionize.
Unionize.
Nice. Okay.
A person who signs up or persuades others to join an organization.
Recruiter.
There you go. Abdiaziz was a recruiter.
Recruiter.
A proposal voted on directly by the public.
Ballot.
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 That's the first part, ballot. What's the next part?
Initiative.
There
Initiative.
there you go.
Initiative.
Ballot initiative. There you go.
Initiative.
Good teamwork. There you go. New and still developing.
Fling. Fling.
Fling.
Flingling. Flingling.
Fledgling. Fledgling. That's a tough one.
Fledgling. Okay.
Taking action in advance to prevent something.
Pre.
Preemptively.
There you go. Preemptively. Very good. Operating independently without human
Autonomous.
control.
Autonomous.
Very good. People or groups affected by an issue.
It. State.
Stakeholder.
That's correct. Stakeholders. Whoop, I missed that one. Okay, a system of laws or rules.
Regulatory landscape.
Landscape.
There you go. Regulatory landscape. Loud, emotional.
Ruckus.
Ruckus, yeah. Likely to cause disagreement or conflict. Starts with a C. You're close. Keep going.
Concession.
Consciousness.
Really close. Contentious. That's a hard one. It's contentious. Job losses caused by companies reducing the workforce.
Layoff.
A group formed by different organizations working together.
Coalition.
There you go. Good job. A place where a group like unions has a lot of power and support.
A stronghold.
A sense of pride and respect.
Dignity.
Very good. Excellent. Good job. We're almost there. Eagerly anticipating.
Salivating.
Salivating.
Good job, everybody. Yes. When workers lose jobs because new technology or a change in the economy.
Displacement.
Good job. Who was that?
Mamadou.
Mamadou. Well done. First day in class, you get me a right answer. Good job. Trying to deal with or make sense of two conflicting issues.
Reconciliation.
Reconciliation.
Reconciling.
Reconciling.
Yeah,
This is the long I sound. I'll go back to reconciling. That's really hard to say. Reconciling. There you go. A situation that is harmful or threatening. Here for the workers who may lose jobs due to automation.
Hostile environment.
There you go. Very good. Very good. All right. And that's it. Oh, I missed number 10. Who's got this one? The act of introducing and using new technology starts with an I.
Deployment.
Play.
Deployment.
Oh,
The
I think somebody said
Deployment.
it. Yes,
Develop.
Deployment.
deployment. Deployment. There you go. Very good. So there you go, everybody. Practice tonight. Attach your score for tomorrow. You can put your name on the leaderboard. I just made the game yesterday, so I don't think anybody's name is on the leaderboard. Anyway, that will help you better understand reading the story that we're going to talk about tonight and understand the writing for Friday. So before we go into breakout rooms, I'm going to show you a little bit of history. So 6 years ago, actually, I should say 7 years ago. 7 years ago, 2019, seems like a different world, right? Before COVID. The Stop and Shop, everybody's been in a Stop and Shop supermarket here in Boston, right?
Yes.
Yes,
it's a
teacher.
popular, yeah, they're all around New England, New Hampshire, Connecticut. I think they're even up in Vermont, Maine. So it's a popular supermarket chain here. This was, I'm going to use one of these words, a contentious issue when they were introduced in 2018. And 7 years ago, Stop and Shop introduced robots to work at their stores.
If you do your grocery shopping at Stop and Shop, you might have noticed a new employee. A 22 News viewer sent us this.
So maybe there's a person who takes something over here and they put it over there, and then they take something over here and they put it over there, and the robot will go up and down, and the robot will, or maybe somebody picks something up and they drop it and they make a mess. It happens. But the robot will go up and down and up and down, and it will tell the staff there's a spill on aisle 5. Something fell down on aisle 6. Something is wrong over here. Something broke over here. And very quickly, somebody can come to clean it up. And the robot just goes back and forth all day. So you don't have to, it's a lot cheaper to hire a robot to do that than hire a person to walk by every 20 minutes. So it's pretty normal now. It used to be a big deal not too long ago. People would walk by the robot and say, oh my God, it's the future. Now we're used to it. It's nothing. We walk by, we see the robot now, we don't even think about it. Nothing new, nothing special. But it wasn't too long ago that was like a big deal. People were saying, what is that? So amazing. Oh, wow. It's just a robot with a camera, goes back and forth, and it tells you when something's wrong. So 1 year later, people who worked at Stop and Shop started noticing their hours were getting cut. People who were working 30 hours were working 20 hours. People who were working full-time jobs were only working part-time jobs. Everybody who worked at Stop and Shop realized they have to get another job because there's just not enough hours. The store doesn't need that many people anymore. So this happened.
Local 25, guys, here to support you.
Local 1445. Thank you.
Yes, this is, guess why it's called basketball?
Oh,
The basket and the ball.
It was an actual basket. So everybody, if you can Google basketball, Google basketball, Springfield, Massachusetts. I'm going to give you the date. I'm going to tell you where the first basketball game. It was invented by a Canadian, by the way, Dr. James Naismith from Canada. Hold on a second. I just forgot the year. Hold on. It's 1891. There it is. 1891. Okay. Basketball in 1891 looked like that. It was an actual basket of peaches, peach baskets. Farmers would hold these wooden baskets, and this guy named Dr. Naismith, James Naismith, he hung the basket all the way up really high from the top of a gym. And he was teaching, physical education. He's the gym teacher at this college. And he came up with a game so people could play in the winter because there's so much snow. It snows a lot. They said, okay, let's get some exercise. Take the ball, run around, throw it in the basket. And what happened when guess what happened when somebody scored a point? Guess what happened?
The ball stay there.
The ball is
Yeah,
The
it's
ball
still
is
there.
the basket.
Yeah, the game stops. The game would
Yes.
stop. That's it. Stop.
Yes.
We scored a point.
Yeah, I
Somebody,
need
this was a person's job.
Yeah, we have
They
to
would
wait for
climb, they
someone to
would get a
pick it up.
ladder. They would see, I'm not joking. You could see the pictures, just Google it. Early basketball games. Somebody would climb up the ladder all the way to the hoop.
Take the ball
out of the basket.
Yes.
And then the game would continue. That's how that was basketball in the 1890s. And it was around 1905. Somebody said, why don't we just cut a hole here?
Wow.
And a lot of people said, no, that's somebody's job.
Yes.
What are we going to do about all these people who don't have a job anymore?
Yes.
Nigga made a hole in the
What are
basket.
they going to do with themselves? This guy's got to feed his family. How is
It's
it
your job, Jeb. Your job need support your family.
Yeah, we gotta no more basketball. We gotta form a union. We gotta keep how many of you I know young people don't like to make a phone call. You like to text. But if you ever make a phone call, does it go to the person directly that you want to call?
No.
It does, right. Early telephones didn't work that way. You had to get on the telephone and you call this lady. She's an operator. And then you say where you want to call. I want to call this person at this place. And they would put a wire here, put a wire here.
Connect different,
and
wiring
connect,
different.
and that would be your phone call. It would take a long time to get through to one person. And the technology got better, and suddenly you could dial numbers, individual phone numbers, to go to individual phones.
That in en route.
Yeah, and all these ladies had to find something else to do.
Lose job.
Yeah, like every time you make a phone call, that was somebody's job. Every time you push a button in an elevator, that was somebody's job. Every time you shoot a basketball and the ball goes through the hoop, that used to be somebody's job.
It's not new AI now.
Right, exactly. This is AI in 1891, right? This was artificial intelligence right there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, another context, teacher, but it's the same
This is it.
context.
Yeah. So, what does everybody think? Should we be worried?
I think it was more interesting on
Recreate.
doing the things.
Renew your skill.
It's more interesting now. You just can do everything with a bottom, but you don't know what is behind. You don't even know the codes about how you can open the door just like pushing your fingers or something like that. Like you don't know nothing. You're using a phone, but you don't know what is in the phone.
Yeah, we do. She's right. This is called we depend on technology we don't understand. Very much. That's absolutely true.
Teacher, for example, in my case, I'm an engineer, system engineer. All days, all time, I look me behind of the technology. You running every day behind the technology. It's crazy. It's normally I need every day learning new skill, new new app, new platform. It's the real life now.
Yeah.
Teacher, one example, I think in a few years, we can't use the credit card because all the people, I think, use just your phone, no?
Oh, you mean cashless payment?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think in the future we don't use more the card, physical card.
That is true. Yeah, that's true. There's more mobile pay. America's a little slow with that. We still use a lot of credit card machines, but there's a lot of Apple Pay and other things. A few other India and China, they've gone quicker with cashless payment. A few other places too. And then there's a lot of other services like let me think. Yeah. So let's get into I always want to ask the question. Here we go. I think I already know the answer. Just tell me real quick.
The same answer, teacher.
Yeah, but we have to practice democracy. Some people are going to be citizens and they're going to look. This is an important job. We have to
Democracy
rehearse.
is
right, teacher.
democracy is on the paper. It's not in reality.
Yeah, we have to rehearse democracy because
There's
so
no
many
democracy.
Americans just walk into the voting booth when it's time for the election and go like this, and look who we put in office. So we have to rehearse. This is a rehearsal. So all my students who are already citizens or becoming citizens, it's an exercise to stop and think before you vote. That's it. To even take 1 second, 2 seconds, please stop and think before you vote in the election. That's it. And you just look who we put in office. This is just a rehearsal. So many of you will be voting in the next election, new citizens. So I'm training new Americans. Okay, there we go. I think we know what we're doing. Okay, let's keep going.
Results? Oh!
See, somebody stopped and they said they need a break. Okay, no problem. If you need a break, step away, step away. All right. Here we go. For anybody who needs a break, don't worry, step away. Here is the beginning of the story right here. All right. The story begins with Abdiaziz. He's interviewed, but I'm going to show you a video. I'm pretty sure he's from Somalia, but I'm not quite sure. He's got like an East African accent, the way he talks, the way he rolls some of his L's. I'm not quite 100% sure, but the way he speaks, he kind of has he's lived in Boston for 30, 40 years. So he has a combination of like a East African, but Boston accent together. It's kind of cool the way he talks. I love it. So this is what Abdiaziz is talking about. And he mentions indirectly these vocab words, the take rate. When he was a recruiter for Uber in 2011, the take rate was low. But then when everybody moved over to Uber, the company took a higher take rate and drivers got less money. Drivers could leave the company, but they only had two choices: drive for Uber, drive for Lyft. There was no DD, no anything else, just Uber or Lyft. And both of those companies are taking more money. That's leverage. And Abdiaziz and many drivers thought that was bait and switch. Come to join Uber, but then they took away the benefits, took away the better take rate. So they decided to exercise power and unionize. Once they form a union, now Waymo came around and threatened the jobs of app drivers. So he's speaking at a ballot initiative. So that's all the vocabulary in the story. You heard him you could read about his story further, but this is his interview, and you can see it on the Instagram page of the App Drivers Union. Here it is.
For 20 years, 9 years in taxi, and 11 years in Uber. When the rideshare apps first came to around, most of the taxi guys did not want to hear about it. But I said, if you can't beat them, join them. I signed them up, I bought my own car, and I believed in the new industry. I saw the potential, the opportunity. But soon, I also saw how fast these tech companies move and how the people doing the work can get left behind. Many taxi drivers learned the hard way. Back then, we are not organized. We didn't have the union to fight for us. We all saw the devastating consequences. Drivers lost their livelihoods, their medallions, their homes, and never want to see that happen again.
What's he talking about? Drivers lost their livelihoods, their medallions, their homes. I never want to see that happen again. What's he talking about?
He's talking about the Uber, the driving condition, right? The earning.
Yes, exactly. Very good. Yeah. Very good. So remember in the story, this guy, he's been driving a very long time. He started out in the 1990s. Some of you, he's been driving in Boston longer than when you were babies. So yeah, this guy's been driving around Boston since some of you were like little kids. And yeah, exactly. He's been doing it a long time. And he had his own limousine service. Then he drove a taxi and had a taxi driver's license. People don't need that anymore because of the apps, the Uber and Lyft. And then he recruited drivers in Boston to join Uber, made a lot of money doing that. But then it became harder and harder to work for Uber because of the things I just mentioned. And he helped start the union in the city. So he's one of the founders of this union. This is the Instagram page. And what's interesting is when you look at their Instagram page, you find a lot of different immigrant groups. Driving is oftentimes a great place to see who's come to a city and reinvented their lives, because immigrants by nature are entrepreneurs, because it's somebody who has to start a new life, become their own boss, work for themselves without a lot of resources. So driving is usually one of those things. So if you look here at the Instagram page, you'll see people from a lot of different languages, who speak a lot of different languages from various places. Here we go. You say, if you click on a lot of these videos, you'll see a lot of people from East Africa, a lot of people from Haiti, a lot of Cape Verdeans, various people from various places, a lot of people from the DR. And these are the guys who are threatened the most by Waymo. This is the App Drivers Union of Boston. So these are some of the demonstrations at the public hearing for Waymo, people who are opposing it.
I have been driving in Boston.
So that's Abdiaziz. Now, that begins the story. But the two main characters are this lady, Julia Meja. She represents she's a elected official. She represents a district in Dorchester, and she has very strong opinions about the threat that Waymo poses to Uber drivers and Lyft drivers. But we also hear from this guy, Carl Richardson, and Carl Richardson has equally strong opinions in favor of Waymo because he is blind. He has a seeing eye dog. He used to be able to drive a car before he lost his eyesight. He says, I want that back. I want the freedom to go where I want to go. Uber drivers don't pick me up. If the technology is there, why shouldn't people in my community be able to use that technology? So these are the two people that you want to focus on with a writing assignment for Friday. And you want to be able to identify their two opinions on the issue. And this is going to be a challenge that I want you to focus on. So here is the worksheet. What you do is you open up the worksheet, you study the vocab, you can read the article here, and then when you're finished reading the article, you summarize the argument. Summarize the argument made by Counselor Meja, short paragraph, what is she saying? Summarize the argument made by Carl Richardson, what is he saying? And try to identify their arguments, and we'll start doing that right now. We'll practice it. So let's take a look first at Meja. I took a little sample of her interview and put it on this slide. Does anybody want to read?
Yes,
I know
teacher.
it might be a little small for some people.
Teacher.
Jorli, you have your hand raised. Go ahead.
Interview with Julia Mejia.
Yeah.
I used to work at McDonald's. I used to clean office with my mom. I did all that. Those were low entry jobs that I could get. And I said that with the self-checkout in the supermarkets, right? Those jobs were occupied oftentimes by people who were retired, or high school students, or young people with disabilities, right? And and now those jobs are being replaced by self-checkout, and there is a sense of, for me, it is a moral issue too, right? That should be at the center of the AI conversation is that morality. While it is exciting and we could do all of this and we could save a lot of money, but what is the unintended consequence of that, right?
Very good, very good. So what I'm going to do now is that's just one sample. I'm going to show you how to use the transcript. I think I did this last week, but for new students, I'm going to show you how to operate the transcript when you open this up. So you open up the article just like this, and you can read and listen at the same time. I'll show you the timestamp area. So it's about 10 minutes in with the interview with Mejia.
What does it mean to live a rich life?
2022. There's this pattern, actually. I understand if this is counselors began to ask union leaders questions. You got the sense the counselors already knew something.
So here it starts off with the interview with Abdiaziz. Don't skip that because that's very important. You click read full transcript. So in all of this, you have to read through it and follow along. So for a lot of people, they think, oh, English, so much English, and they want to run away. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of it. So you follow along.
some of these answers, that maybe they were asking more just to get the answers on the public record.
Question, and I'm just curious, can you talk to us a little bit about the number of conversations that you've had with Waymo? How many times did you meet with them?
This is City Councilor Julia Mejia asking one of the Teamsters leaders, how many times did Waymo reach out to you before they sent mapping cars to Boston?
Thank you for the question, Councilor Mejia. It rhymes with hero.
Zero.
So
this is why I asked the question, because oftentimes things are being done to us without us, right? And so
Chapter 3.
I'm curious what words of advice.
Councilor Mejia.
Now that you have the mic.
The councilor had arrived an hour late to the hearing. A former MTV reporter, she's noticeably hipper than the median municipal politician, standing out in the beige sea of the city council room. She'd come to listen to the heroes, the drivers. But more than that, she'd come to make a meal out of the people she saw as the villains, Waymo's executives.
If we're competing with machines, it will ultimately have an impact on our drivers.
At this point, given the scale of our fleet compared to Uber and Lyft's, I can't speak to what the decrease in their revenue has been. I don't know those numbers. I can tell you that
the person on the receiving end of these questions is Matt Walsh, Waymo's regional head of state and local public policy. Walsh looks the part of the tech exec, a spiffy suit, a swoopy coif of silver hair. For most of their conversation, they're talking past each other because Matt Walsh wants to discuss safety and Councilor Mejia wants to discuss drivers' jobs.
What we are doing is creating an opportunity for people to choose to not support humans and the workforce. That is the choice that we're giving people.
I would disagree, Counselor. I would say the choice we're giving people is they can make a decision if they want to be in a safer vehicle that they feel safer in and that meets their needs.
And so are we saying that our Uber and Lyft drivers and our app drivers are not safe drivers?
I am not making comments specifically about the safety of Uber and Lyft. What I can say is that after 71 million miles of fully autonomous operations on U.S. roads, we know that we are 5 times less in injury-causing crashes than human drivers. I am not suggesting that Uber and Lyft drivers are dangerous. I am suggesting that human drivers, compared to the Waymo driver, are involved in far more collisions.
But Waymo is not a driver. Waymo is a robot. So let's
without it, you're totally correct.
Let's be really clear about what it is. It's an apparatus.
When we say Waymo driver, I know the chair brought this up earlier. That is what we call the Waymo. That is what we call the technology. Okay, and I understand it has sensitivities, and
it's very triggering.
Understood and heard loud and clear.
I just want to make sure that we're not driving. That's not happening. So right now, in supermarkets, they do these self-checkouts.
So Boston is like a little character, you know. I think that it could have been, you know, CEOs versus Bs. Boston would just be like, we're on the B side, you know, like we're going to go hard for honey, you know, like we're crazy like that.
I got to talk to Councilor Mejia, the politician who'd been so offended by Waymo's use of the D word. We met in person in her office in Dorchester. The councilor was giving me and producer Emily Moltere a quick lesson on Boston, this foreign country where I'd happily landed.
We are just not the type of city that just goes along to get along with certain things that we feel, especially like Boston is a union town. We're hardcore. We're adverse to outsiders. It's a city, but it's like a little old town, you know? It's like very towny here.
Well, this gets to what I want to ask you about, which is Waymo. Like, do you recall the first time Waymo, even as a concept, showed up on your radar?
Yeah, right before the hearing. Oh, right before. Like, I didn't know, like, first of all, I'm not one of those people, I don't pay attention to everything. I'm not going to, you know, like, I have my own little bubble here, you know, I'm dealing with education issues, potholes, like murder, you know, like real life issues that impact the quality of life of my constituents. And so it wasn't until recently when there was some rumblings of Waymo wanting to set up shop here in Boston that I had learned that they were in other cities. I was like, damn, there are people who like this. Like, I got in a Waymo car, like all excited about it. I'm like, wow, people like this. So you
start searching about it because you're curious. And then the algorithm starts being like just videos of like happy people in driverless cars.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, wow, like who are these people really excited? Getting driven around by a robot or just not even a robot. Some of these don't even have a little head. They're just like...
Yeah, it's just a steering wheel.
Yeah, that's even creepier. So that was like, ew. Yeah, no.
Okay, so you can continue to read on and listen, but just by listening to that and reading this sample of her interview, who can give a little summary of her argument? What's her opinion?
For me, it's Mejia or the another person. For me, it's a topic um, so important. For example, when they replace humans for a robot, you you feel the all family lose money, lose opportunity. This family need paid. You imagine that situation. You understand uh, Mejia. And another hand, you understand Robert. Or I don't know the name of the disability.
We'll get to him in a minute. Yeah, yeah. How would you make her? What's she saying? Who could Angel give your interpretation of what Mejia says? What is she arguing?
Mejia, your argument is no replace of the 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 human the place work for robot. Is your argument is uh that's it. Is the the reduced opportunity of the person get the job.
People first.
People lose.
All right. Anybody else? Anybody else have an interpretation of what Mejia says?
Yeah, teacher.
Go ahead, Alpha.
Yeah, so the Waymo company is trying to defend the Waymo against the the driver's argument. Yeah, so the I believe that the people is complaining about the Waymo because it is going against their work.
Well, what is Julia Mejia arguing? This lady we just heard from.
Yes, say lot of money. Say in the another's words, she says lot money for the company. It's more earn.
Yeah.
She doesn't wish we replace Waymo by human, and she thought that will have a big impact to to the environment and to the society, and the family couldn't or can't anymore support themselves, like support their family, and she tried to explain that will not have that is not good idea to come with that, but probably for now she will win, but in the future she that this point cannot keep, because the not like the Uber themselves they were supposed to send out them not people, but most of them I think they need way more. If you lose your job, probably you try to find other things to do. But that is evolution. You're supposed to make adaptation with that.
The first half of what you said, Jules, was perfect. She's worried about all the people who feed their families driving for Uber and Lyft. If they can't make money to support their families, we have a big problem. And a lot of people in her district in Dorchester make money driving for Uber and Lyft. So she sees a big problem, and that's based on her argument. So when you're that's a good place to start. Now we're going to go to the opposing view of Carl Richardson.
Teacher, and also she says the union and the government need to protect the drivers because these people is essential for the city. And also too, she say the women use the disability people for have a positive opinion about her.
Yes, very good. Very good. Good job, Anilanes. You read the whole thing. Very good. So anybody, if you want more details, call Anilanes. But she's busy. You know why she's busy? She makes a living feeding her family driving for Uber. So you got to call her at the right time. Or ask a question very quickly and don't expect a long answer. She's going to give you a quick answer. All right. Let's go into Carl Richardson. Who wants to read this sample of Richardson's interview? Another volunteer reader.
Yes, I want to read.
I think who have we not heard from? Erna, go ahead. We haven't heard from you tonight. Go ahead, Erna.
Yeah, but what finally happened is I sat behind the wheel of a car one day, getting ready to go to work, and I actually said to myself, am I going to get to work alive today? And I sat there and I couldn't answer it. So I called out sick and I never drove again. It's a hard thing to give up. Yeah, and I want it back. And I never thought I'd get it back. But I now believe someday within my lifetime, we might have to convince the politicians you don't need to have eyesight to be able to have the ability to drive an autonomous vehicle. But I think we can do it because it isn't just about blind people. Everybody has a mother or don't teacher. They have to take away the driving form.
Very good. He continues. We're going to listen to a big part of his interview right now. And that's the opposing view that you want to be able to also identify and understand. So let's take a look at the Richardson interview. And you go back into the article, same thing. You follow the transcript, and that's about 30 minutes in, about halfway through.
A car accident. I don't see someone instinctually.
Feels easier than put heroes laurel.
Carl told me the story of the day as he'd experienced it.
First of all, when I walked across City Hall Plaza, you could hear protests and rallies, union protests and rallies.
Driverless cars, and yes to human beings. Power, union, power, union, power. When I say justice.
Then I walked in, and I got there about an hour early on purpose so I could sign on the piece of paper, and I had my intern with me. She said I was number 3 on the list. So I was hoping to go early. We got there. I think they were probably, let's see, the Food and Restaurant Union was there, the App Drivers Union was there, the SEIU Union was there, the Teamster Union was there. I remember the Ambulance Driver Union being there. So the disability community was far outnumbered, and I will even tell you that a handful of disabled people left. They were so discouraged based on what they were hearing, they didn't even want to testify.
Why? What did they find specifically discouraging?
I think that they felt like that the city councilors had already made up their mind. And I think they heard anger in the room. So some of the people didn't stay. I felt outnumbered, but I still felt like I had an important story to tell.
Carl, in the room that day, kept waiting to speak. He had expected that because of his early sign-up, he'd be one of the first speakers. Instead, he waited nearly the entire 4 hours. For some reason, they'd slotted him almost at the very end.
Here, Carl Richardson, you have 2 minutes. Nice to see you.
Yeah, hi, my name is Carl Richardson. I am the Massachusetts State Health ADA Coordinator and also an advisory board member for Mayor.
You see Carl. He's wearing a light blue button-up and a tie.
We've heard a lot about the impact on the union and the drivers and the workforce. Let's talk about the communities I think it would impact in favor of. Not only people with physical disabilities like myself, but people with mental health. And by the time I testified, I threw out my written prepared remarks, and I just winged it. We keep talking about employment. I want to have that discussion. Do you know how many jobs I've turned down because I can't get there, or how many interviews?
If you spend time talking to Carl, you learn a lot about unemployment in the disability community. It's high. Their unemployment rate is twice as high as the rest of the workforce. One contributing factor to that number that a lot of people don't think about is just transportation. You can't do a job if you can't reliably get to it.
I agree that Uber drivers and paratransit do an amazing job, but not always. At least once a week, I get denied access to Uber and Lyft because they refuse to take me because I have a service dog and denying me my civil rights. I often get denied access too because they won't go beyond the city limit because they're worried about maximizing their revenue and the ability to pick up a return fare. My life is not limited to the city limit. And the other thing it would do, it would increase.
There's actually been pretty well-documented issues with discrimination by Uber drivers against disabled people. There's an active DOJ lawsuit about it right now. Wheelchair users whose rides are canceled because it would take extra time to help them load in. Blind people whose rides are canceled once the drivers see a service dog. A spokesperson at Uber said they have a zero-tolerance policy for confirmed service denials, and that Uber fundamentally disagrees with the DOJ's allegations. In the meantime, Carl says he spends a lot of time trying to strategize ways to stop Uber drivers from passing him by. Carl was born with a genetic condition called Usher syndrome, type 2. It meant he was destined to lose his vision and hearing, but gradually and as an adult. It's a difficult diagnosis, in part because psychologically it requires you to accept so much. To accept loss knowing that more loss is just ahead. That whatever you get used to, you'll need to get used to more. There was a time in Carl's adult life, for instance, when he had a driver's license.
So I drove. I had 20/20 vision up until I was about 30, which is one of the reasons why autonomous vehicles are a big deal to me, because I want that feeling that I used to have when I drove, of freedom and independence and mobility. I know what I've lost, and I want that back. It's not that people deal with it differently.
Yeah.
And I have a sister who has it. She never took up driving because she knew she was going to have to give that up someday. And she didn't want to have her heart broken. I said, screw it, I'm going to drive, I'm going to work in film and television, I'm going to do everything I can.
What type of car did you drive?
Well, whatever I had in total. I drove, 10, 12 years? I think I totaled 5 cars, because I was slowly going blind, but I was in denial. So I'm lucky to be alive and sitting here with you today.
It was hard to let go of driving?
Yeah, but what finally happened is I sat behind the wheel of a car one day, getting ready to go to work. And I actually said to myself, am I going to get to work alive today? And I sat there, and I couldn't answer it. So I called out sick, and I never drove again.
It's a hard thing to give up.
Yeah, and I want it back. And I never thought I'd get it back, but I now believe someday within my lifetime, we might have to convince the politicians you don't need to have eyesight to be able to have the ability to drive an autonomous vehicle, but I think we can do it because it isn't just about blind people. Everybody has a mother they have to take away their driving from. Everybody has a father where they say, Dad, I don't know if you should drive anymore. Everybody has a teenager who's texting on their phone. See, we're not even beginning to think about the possibilities of what autonomous vehicles could do. The other reason I don't want to ban autonomous vehicles in the city of Boston is because I think eventually it'll lead to personal ownership.
And is that what you really want?
Oh, you bet. I'm not kidding when I say I have a savings account where I put aside a few $100 a month just for the ability for me to buy an autonomous vehicle someday. And if they ban autonomous vehicles, then they're going to ban me from the right to drive, earn a living, go to school, go to medical appointment, go to the beach on a Sunday, go visit my mom in a nursing home, whatever, with the flexibility that everybody else has.
Carl wanted me to know that even though Waymo had become the subject of this fight, he did not care if Waymo specifically came to Boston. Any autonomous car company would do. He just wanted to be able to hail a taxi that couldn't pass him by. And he wanted one day to own a car again. In the hearing, near the end of his allotted time, he told a story about something that had happened to him recently, an emergency when he needed a ride.
Imagine that you're blind and your mother called you at 7 o'clock on a Sunday night and said, I just heard from the sheriff department, I'm going to get arrested unless I come up with some money right away. She got a call, she believed it. I'm the primary caregiver in my family. I had to figure out a way to get out there. And I got denied 3 times in a row while I was trying to get out to my mother. Public transportation was an option because it was late on a Sunday night. All I wanted the ability was to be able to go home to my mom and say, you're okay, and I love you. And that would be the positive impact of autonomous vehicles. So yes, definitely think about the human component and the people component, but think about it for the whole community at large, not just the union. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Carl.
Okay, so that is Carl Richardson's argument. It's getting late, but I just want to remind everybody that for Friday, you want to be able to identify both of these arguments. Mejia's argument in favor of the unions, labor, keeping Waymos out of Boston, and Carl Richardson's argument for the disabled community that he represents, that autonomous vehicles would be a positive change for a lot of people like him. So follow the instructions, go through the reading, answer the questions in the worksheet, and I think you'll be okay. So vocab exercise tomorrow that'll help you better understand the reading and put together your arguments, write the 2 paragraphs for Friday. Any questions?
No.
All right. I will see you.
Bye, teacher.
I will see you next time. Happy writing. Happy studying.
Good teacher.
See you later. Bye-bye,
Teacher,
everybody.
teacher, I have
Thank you
a
for
question,
your
please.
time.
Sure. I heard somebody said they have a question. Yes, go ahead.
So, teacher, the exercise is coming from out of the reading that just happened. The questions are coming from out
Yes,
of
sir.
it.
You got to go into Google Classroom and read the article, sir. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yep. And for new students who are joining tonight, there's 2 new students. Take it slow. I know it's a lot, but you'll be fine. Just follow along in the Google Classroom. Just try your best. Don't worry. And only the ones due this week. Don't do anything from the like January, February. Don't worry. Don't think about that. Just the ones due, that this week.
Step by step.
There you go. Just follow the due dates and follow the instructions. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah, you'll see
Thank
like
you.
100 assignments if you look at January and February. No. Just the ones this week. That's it.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye-bye, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye, teacher.
Good night.